to the north while everyone sort of took off to the south, and you had the two locals standing out front because you blew the roof open across the road. And they spotted you. You tried to do a swifty and lead them another way, but they caught on to you and chased you. And you ran up the side of a building. And everyone else went to Bardeed's house and had a chat with him, gave him the rat's tails, collected some gold, and stayed the night there. And you met up with everybody a bit later. Then the following morning, you all gathered your things, and you all went to the Lutger Manor, to which you had a conversation with a couple of burly fellas at the front. To which, at the end of the session, he shouts out the words "Trothby," which who can speak Draconic?
No one.
No, one of you's good.
I can.
Okay. So you understand the words to be "protect me," and then the session finished.
You told him that in secret.
Hey? Ah, well, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Come on, darling.
Also, Dodrick, you had a conversation with Bardeed.
I did. He was a jerk.
What did he say since you spilled the beans on everything else? Hey?
You would have to ask my character in game.
I think next level I get a spell to make you do whatever I want, so I'm good.
I don't think you can do that.
The thing is, with the conversation between Bondi and Bardeed, you guys didn't understand or notice that it took place, but it did.
Damn straight.
They communicated by moving their eyebrows.
So I'm just trying to find a monster that I can use for these two.
Sorry, I just got a phone call.
Yeah. More time for me.
Hey,
Someone screenshot him.
spell DC. How does that exactly work? Is that whenever I cast one of my spells and it's got a saving throw? That's my spell DC.
Yes. Which is generally the whatever its primary attribute is. So if it's an intelligence-based spell, it'll be intelligence plus your intelligence modifier. I think is usually what it is, but it should tell you in the character sheet.
It tells me on the spells, but I wasn't sure where it came from.
Yeah, so it's usually your whatever stat or main stat the spell uses. In your case, it'd be charisma plus your charisma modifier, and perhaps your proficiency as well.
And the spell attack plus 5, what does that mean?
Where's that? What are you looking at?
So on my features and traits,
Yep.
class features, spell casting, it's got a spell attack plus 5. Because they weren't spelled out that way before. I never saw the spell attack plus 5.
I think the attack is just to hit. Yeah, the plus 5 will be just to hit.
Because most of my spells don't actually have hit, do they?
Yeah.
They just do. Yeah. They've just got resist. That makes sense. Cool.
Bondi doing dishes.
I'm not doing dishes. I'm cracking a beer. Because I'm an alcoholic.
Drink on a Monday night.
What does it matter what night it is? It's D&D.
How's your other session been going? You still been playing?
Yeah. We didn't play the last 2 weeks, but we're back on this week. People have been busy. And yeah, we did a lot on that session. We get drunk.
What have you got?
I'm back.
Cool.
You're asking me what I've got?
Yeah.
I have a Peroni. Ligera.
Dickhead. In the other game.
What?
It doesn't matter.
Paladin. I like the Paladin. It's fun.
Better than your rogue?
Probably too early to say, but I think maybe. I think so far, I have been enjoying it a little bit more than my rogue. But yeah, it's a bit soon to sort of make that.
Cool. Alright, let's do this, Darty.
Alright, so you guys had a rather aggressive conversation with these two thugs. they screamed out the words "protect thee," protect me in Draconic. And as they sort of stand there, you guys, you're all at the front door of this house, and remember you're at the Lutker Manor, and it's quite an impressive house. You know, it's big, looks expensive, looks like one of the upper class of Berein live here. And so these two thugs at the front, they shout out Trothvie, and they stand there waiting for something to happen, but nothing does. And you guys are sort of awkwardly sort of watching, expectantly.
Awkward.
And yeah.
Didn't I shoot one of them in the back of the head, or at least try to?
I don't believe so.
You
No.
might have smacked someone.
You
I think-
the crossbow.
Now I think Dodrick, you were on the roof because you were trying to get in from the top entrance. You'd scaled the roof, and you were going to come in from the
There was
top.
not the roof. There was a balcony.
It
I got in through the balcony door.
There was a
and I was
second
up
story
there.
balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd unlocked the door, but I didn't think you'd gone in just yet. From where I remember.
You did, and Apple shot a crossbow at the cultist, and then regretted it because he meant to actually throw the dwarf head instead.
That's right.
Ah.
Remember, and I even blocked the fucking
He
shot
wanted to redo it.
because I was in there threatening and stuff. That's right. That was a long time ago.
That was.
So if I've entered the balcony and I'm upstairs, can I hear what's going on?
You can hear some muffled sort of sounds coming from the balcony doors because you're inside, but you're hearing it come from outside. So the sound is sort of traveling up and over the roof of the building. You can't really hear too well through the building. So the sound's coming from behind you as you enter the house.
Sounds coming behind me as I enter the house.
So as you walk through the door, you can hear the commotion that's going on the ground from behind you over the edge of the balcony. You can't hear it coming through the house.
Right. Well, if I've just entered, what do I see when I've entered the room?
So when you walk in, you see. Hold on, let me get my map. You see like a smaller sunroom, but as you walk in, everything looks bigger than what it should be. I don't mean by the like the decorations or the furniture or anything like that, but you walk into the room expecting to walk into a small room, but it's massive. Like you're looking at 40-foot ceiling where you are. The room itself is 40-foot by 40-foot square, and it appears to be a sunroom, and there's two further closed doors ahead of you. Sunroom, so there's a couple of bookshelves, there's plenty of books on them, a couple of comfy sofas, some coffee tables, candles, there's a ornate chandelier coming from the ceiling as well.
Right. Well, I guess since I know that the other guys have started a commotion, but it sounded muffled, right? So me being a dumb rogue who's self-interested, have just walked in and minded my own business. So, do we want to continue with me or cut to the other guys?
All right, so you're not getting to backtrack. You're going to continue going through the house. Is that what you're doing?
I think so.
Okay, you can do that. That's fine.
I've got enough of a reason to know that there's a fight going on, I think.
So
seems like I'm cheating if I go the other way.
So back downstairs, these two guys are sort of looking in. Now they're starting to look over their shoulder and they're waiting for something to happen, but nothing's really happening. To which one of them reaches in from behind the door and pulls out quite a large wooden club. And the second one follows suit. He sort of runs back inside and grabs a spiked piece of wood. And they both come out at the door, and can I get you to roll initiation, please?
Wait, they're running at us.
Yeah, they're coming out.
17. For right now.
13.
6.
Oh, so you guys know we can all see each other's character sheets now.
Yeah, I noticed that the website had updated, and
Yeah. It's actually a pretty
I
good
gotta
update.
learn again.
So,
better.
so 17 was Lefner.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 was 13, and sorry, 1 was 13, and Forrest, what was yours?
A sexy 6.
6. Cool. So this guy just, the first thug just comes flying out the door, and he just starts screaming, "Arr!" And he takes a swing at the closest one, which would be you, one, because you were opening and knocking on the door. He takes a swing. It's a 13. Is that a hit?
I don't know, give me a sec. I don't know where my AC is.
It's
anyone?
armor.
I'm 12, yeah.
There's a 12, so that is a hit. So.
Daddy, would I have heard that roar?
Yes, you would have heard the scream, and perhaps the thud of one getting hit.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Oh,
I will
actually,
be running
plus
back.
4 to hit. Okay, so that was actually a 17. Forgot to add the modifier. See, this is how long it's been.
Yeah, fuck done.
And that's 4 bludgeoning damage to you, 1. Now, as 1 takes the first hit, Lefner, it's your go.
Oh, the damage is so much easier to do as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
Alright, so how far am I from the door?
You guys are all
Or
pretty
to
much.
the first mob?
You guys are all pretty much standing on top of each other. You're all as a group knocking on the door. So
Okay,
one's
so-
only a couple of feet away from you, almost within arm's reach.
So remind me, because I'm probably in melee range of this guy, right?
Yep.
Or within five
Yep.
yards. If I go to move back, does he get an attack of opportunity on me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just needed that reminder because I wasn't sure what the fuck's going on. Okay. Well, because I want to look after my friend and make sure he doesn't die, I'm going to cast some hideous... Wait, which one's the good one? Yeah, hideous laughter on the dude that attacked
Have
one.
this on it, Whispers?
I think hideous laughter is the one that knocks him over, makes him incapacitated or prone.
The other one makes
Yeah.
him run away like a bitch.
Oh, does it? Hang on.
Hey, help.
Oh yeah, I can actually click on it.
Yeah,
All right.
do the run away like a bitch one.
Okay,
Then, Fuzzy gets to attack.
Okay, yeah, dissonant whispers. So
Okay.
I will cast that.
Okay, and it's a wisdom save, which he fails.
Okay, so on a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage.
Alright.
Now, do you roll them or do I roll
No,
them?
you roll damage.
That is a fat 10.
10. Ouch.
It must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far away from speed allows from me.
Okay, so the thug, after taking the first hit on Apples, he just, you can see he just stops and listens for a sec, and then he just sort of grabs his head and just sort of screams and just runs back into the house. All 3 of you get an attack of opportunity on him because you're all within melee range.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
we get to use ranged things here?
If
No,
that is your equipped weapon, yes.
Yeah, I've got a crossbow.
Don't miss.
Do I get disadvantage because he's close? Or
I
is
believe
it
that
as
is
he's
the
like
rule. So I think your crossbow has. So let's have a look. Actions. Loading
range is 30 foot to 120 foot.
Yeah, so disadvantage to attack at close range, please. 1, I'll get you to do your attack first.
This is like reverse Arcadia Quest rules.
Alright, so 6 and a 1. So disadvantage means I get a critical 1.
you pull up, you fire the bolt, but you you just cleanly miss and just sticks into the window on the side of the house. Lefner, you can go next.
5 to hit.
5 to hit. So is that with your cantrip that you're using?
Oh wait, no. So hang on, a quick weapon. Do I use? I can
Ah,
pick my cantrip, or can I? Do I have to use
actually,
my quarterstaff?
hold on. Let me just quickly see. Can you do
No, it's
attacks of
anything-
opportunity with a spell?
I think it's only with Ready One. Like we've got a reaction tab now that you
Yeah.
can use. So it's either attacks or So I've only got Featherfall in my list of reactions.
Yeah. So actions in combat for reactions,
Okay,
opportunity.
so
attack.
D&D 5e, to cast a spell as an opportunity attack, I presume this includes cantrips, you have to pick the Warcaster feat. So yeah, you have to attack with your equipped melee
With my
weapon.
quarterstaff.
Yep.
Yeah. So I miss.
Okay.
I guess, unless he's got 5 armor.
And Forrest, your turn.
So I roll the attack and then roll hit if I...
So
Is that how it
the attack
works?
is hit. So roll a d20. And tell me what you get.
12.
Is that
That's with your hit chance added.
have you added your hit modifier?
Yes.
So 12 is a hit. So now you roll damage.
Yeah. So that would be my quarterstaff.
Yep.
5.
HP, so another 5. Alright, cool. So as the cultist turns around and legs it, you gave him a good belting across the back of the head. He's just sort of covering and he just runs past his mate. His colleague, or his other fellow cultist, is sort of a bit taken back and he just sort of lets him go and watches him and he just runs into the back of the house and out of sight.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna move 15 feet away from the door, just
Okay.
to put a bit of distance in case the other guy gets a bit aggressive.
Yep.
And then with my extra attack, I'm going to use Eldritch Blast on the dude we've already been attacking.
Now he's a little bit obscured. So
Okay.
the dude that he's already been attacking. So the one that ran away, is that the one that you're wanting? Because he's run back into the house and he's out of sight.
Oh, so he's not in line of sight of the door.
No, he's run around
Okay.
around the corner.
Is the other cultist in line of sight of the door?
He is, but he's obscured. So I'll get you to roll your attack with disadvantage.
Which means I roll 2 dice, yeah, and choose the lowest.
Yep.
Okay.
Because he went back behind
So
the door.
Eldritch Blast. Oh, boo! I got a 19 and a 5, but that makes it it makes it a 10 with my plus to hit. But I'm guessing they've got 11 armor class or something. So
Actually, we'll do disadvantage. I think I've done this rule wrong, so we'll check this afterwards. But yeah, so you cast
That's
your
all right.
Eldritch Blast, and it just hits the door. And is that necrotic or ice? What's that damage?
no, it's force.
Force. All right, so you hit the door, and the door just smashes open, and it's now revealing the cultist. He's a little bit, bit shocked that the door's just flung open, but still pretty pissed. Forrest, it's your turn.
Alright. So have we in Cap really killed that one that's
No,
nearly dead that trying to hit?
you're not sure how nearly dead he is. He
Okay.
did turn around and he's bolted inside, sort of clutching his head and screaming.
Yep. Could I
Hey,
potentially
Dave.
run past him and chase the other one? How far did he run? DM's gone death.
Sorry, intrusion. Sorry, what were you saying? Fuzzy?
Can I sort of run past him, like not close enough for him to hit me and chase the other one that ran
No,
away?
the other
into
guy's
the house?
standing pretty much square at the front door now that's wide open.
Alright,
you have to run through melee.
I'll just sort of move closer to him and I'll hit him then.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Oh, for fuck's sake. 5.
5. So you do miss. So you approach this guy and you take a good swing at him, but he just anticipates your attack and takes a step back and dodges it quite swiftly. Are you you having any follow-up attacks?
I may as well use my bonus action just to try and punch him.
Okay, roll attack.
I need a new dice tower. What's it? 1. So with plus modifier, 6.
So yeah, you try to follow up, and he just takes another step back and anticipates it. However, he does, after dodging your blow, he does follow up with 2 attacks onto you. What's your armor class?
13.
13. So the first one hits, and the second one follows up. It also hits as well, and that is 10 damage. So with his club, he just sort of clobbers you right into the ribs as you weren't expecting it, and then follows up with an uppercut with the club and catches you under the jaw. You got blood sort of gushing out of your mouth where you've bit your lip, and you feel an intense pain both from your mouth and also from your ribs. He doesn't knock you off your feet though; you're still standing.
Hey, Daddy. When the dude with the club did the initial roar, since I heard that, my move would have been to go back, dash off the balcony and back to the door.
Yep.
So I don't know how you want to play that as far as joining the...
Yeah, so you join the fight late, and I'll get you to roll an initiation for me for the next few rounds.
Do that now?
Yep.
Okay.
So essentially the first round has happened as you've come across.
Yep. So, 9.
9? Okay. Alright. So your spell for Dissonant Whispers, does he only spend 1 turn running away?
Let me
That's
check.
what I was trying to read just before.
Yeah, it's only for like that turn.
Yeah.
It says, the creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away. So it's just like a me screaming at him, or he thinks there's something screaming at him or telling him to run.
Okay.
But only for...
Cool. So he runs back into the house, but he does sort of gather his thoughts and collect himself a little bit, and he moves back inside the house, but he's now going to take aim at Forrest, because Forrest is inside the house with his crossbow. Okay. So, and he has the bolt already loaded, and he fires. However, he misses horribly and sticks his buddy instead.
Get fucked up. Natural dodge.
Yeah. And his buddy now has like a crossbow just sticking out the back of his arm, and he just sort of screams in pain in the shock and curses back at him, calls him a fucker.
Aren't you guys lucky he didn't do that to you when I got a kill?
Cool. It is your turn, Lefner.
Okay, so I'm guessing that guy with the crossbow...
I thought you did have a turn.
No, he had the reaction.
My apologies. Alright, well, you have yours. Jump in quick now. Sorry.
So what can we see is we're looking in the door. There's one guy that's right up on Fuzz, and there's 2 guys way back behind him.
No,
is that right?
just the one fella. So where you guys are at the moment, hold on.
His chin looks a bit bigger from the side now. I think he ate too much on holiday.
Which dude was it that took the bolt to the shoulder?
So what do you want me to do? Fuzz, how much health are you on?
5.
Yeah, I'll bring you back from the dead, bro.
I'm
Or
not
do you
dead
want us
yet.
to let you drop and then bring you back? It's up to you.
Oh, whatever.
Alright, so what you guys can see One and Lefner, and now Dodric. So you're standing out the front, and you're looking inside the door. You can see Forrest and one of the cultists standing in melee range just inside the door. You can't see much past that. It's obscured to your view. You do know that there is one other cultist in there, and that he has a crossbow because he just stuck his buddy with it by accident. So now, to get the idea of where the other cultist may be, he used his full movement to run away. So that was a whole 30 feet, 10 meters, and he was at the door essentially at the time when he's bolted in. So he's probably a good 6 or 7 meters inside. Hey.
Did we see him go left or right, or?
You saw him go to the right.
I suppose it doesn't really matter as far as
in terms of what James is doing, I'll just make a comment. I've been looking at Roll20 for dungeon maps, and I'd like to hopefully start using that as our next session, just so you guys can actually move around and be a little bit more tactical.
I was checking them out too. They were pretty cool, some of them that you can do with them.
Yeah, so I've got a program which can draw maps, and then they upload directly into Roll20. So hopefully I'll be a bit more organised, and I can get that up and going, and we'll use that going forward. But yeah, so one, you are staring at Forrest and the first cultist in a tussle in the door.
Nice. Alright, so I get my walk on and get up because I got to be in touch range to a good friend Forrest, our little vulnerable monk, and I cast Cure Wounds, which 1d8 if I make it to him.
Yeah, you've well and truly got enough movement.
So who rolls the d8?
He gets healed for 6. 1d8 plus 3. So I got 3,
Nice.
so he gets 6.
Awesome.
And then I cast Bardic Inspiration with my bonus action.
Yep.
On Forest.
On Forest, cool.
So that means you get a 1d. It doesn't say what my d is.
I think it's a D4 to start with. You guys are level 2. If you click on, you should be able to go to actions and then actually click on Bardic Inspiration. Alright, it doesn't.
It says what it becomes later. It becomes a d8 later.
Maybe it's a D6.
Yeah. Alright, Fuzz, you get a d6.
Yeah. So
to roll before Darty tries to say things.
yeah. Alright, so left now, it's your go.
Alright, so okay, I've got line of sight of the dude that's in melee range of Forrest and Juan.
Yep.
But I don't have line of sight of the other cultist, the one that's already pretty damaged.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just going to straight up Eldritch Blast the one that I can see.
Okay. Roll attack.
10.
10. So you fire Eldritch Blast, but you must have been a little bit too cautious because you didn't want to hit Forrest, and you just miss both of them as the blast flies through and explodes somewhere inside the manor.
Okay, alright. I just rewind my hands back up and go for it again.
Okay.
Stop shooting at my ship!
I got a 9.
9.
Yeah,
So
that's
you follow up
not doing
again.
anything.
You try to overcompensate, and you just do it a little bit too far, and it just goes off to the other side, and you hit the side of the door, and part of the wood sort of splinters out, and from the force of the explosion.
It's like making holes.
1. It is now your actual go. In the correct order.
Alright. So I'm in now. Can I see the other guy?
Yes.
Just read that.
Is he like close enough to me to like come wacky whack? Because he was the wacky whack guy.
Nah, he's a good 20 feet or so away from where you guys are at the moment.
Alright. I cast. No, I shoot at the guy that's 20 feet away with my crossbow.
Yeah.
I heard that.
The D20. 13.
13, that hits. Roll damage.
5 damage.
Cool. So you pull out your crossbow and just fire a single bolt, and it hails true and strikes him a good square into the front of his leather armor, and it sort of sticks him, and you see him wince in pain as it from the impact. He's still pretty hurt.
As my bonus, I cast Vicious Mockery on the guy that's all up in our face.
Okay.
So I must succeed a Wisdom saving throw or take 1d4.
Yep.
He's going to get 13.
13. He gets a 20. So he
Fuck
passes. So does anything happen on the successful save?
Just useless.
Nothing.
I was like, you're a butt. And I didn't mock him very viciously.
No. He just sort of, just gives you a look. Maybe a wink. Forrest, it's your turn.
Is it mine or Roderick's?
Oh, Dodrick's.
Isn't he in
Yes.
right now?
No, sorry. Yes. He's Dodrick's.
Cool. So there's a cultist still standing next to Forrest, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I'm going to run at him with my short swords and stab at him.
Alright, roll attack. Might as well roll both.
Yep. So the first one is 18.
That's a hit.
So I'll roll the damage for that. 1d. Oh, and I'll apply my sneak attack for this hit as well.
Yes.
3 plus 4 is 7.
Yep.
And applying my sneak attack brings an extra 4, so that's 11.
11 damage on the first attack.
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
Does that kill him? Or is he still going?
Still going.
No? Okay. And I'm going to use my bonus action to hit him with my second short sword.
Yep.
So that is 18 to hit.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
4.
4 damage. Cool. So seemingly out of nowhere, you just come from the side and you stick both swords straight into his back, and he just lets out this howling of pain, and you just see blood just gush from underneath his robes and come down. And he sort of tries to fight you briefly before collapsing on the ground, and you just watch the life come out of him.
Bitch.
Is this more matter that I get covered in again?
No, you didn't get covered in anything this time. Now the other cultist, seeing his colleague goes into a bit of a frenzy, and he drops the crossbow and grabs his club again, and he charges you, Dodrick, and makes 2 swings. The first one misses, but the second one clocks you so hard that you see stars. And you cop a good 8 damage, and it just hits you so fast your feet just fly out from underneath you and you fall prone.
Brutal. 8 damage.
Do I get to attack of opportunity?
Hey, no, because he's moved
Rose.
into range. It's your turn now, Forrest.
Alright. Well, I turn and face him, and I'm just going to try and clobber him with my quarterstaff back.
Okay, roll attack.
Uh, 16.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
Uh, 7.
7. So, yeah, you get a good swing at him. Bring the quarterstaff right round, and you just hit him straight into the arm. You think you might hear a bone break, but you're not quite sure. But as you hit him, the force was enough to sort of shift him a little bit on the side. But he does keep his balance and does hold his arm in pain.
Alright, and I'm going to use my Chi or Kai.
Yep.
Keep pressing back on my character sheet.
Key it is. key point. Key like a key for the door.
Guy. And I'm going to attack him with my bare arms.
Yep. They come out of nowhere.
First one was 8.
It's a miss. So you're using flurry of blows, are you? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The next one's 15.
15. That's a hit. Roll damage.
Seven.
7. Oh, that's huge. So you sort of pull the quarterstaff to the side and a couple of quick punches, and the second one catches him really good underneath the jaw, and you hit him. You watch a tooth just fly out of his mouth, and he takes a step back, and blood drooling from the mouth.
I should have reminded you had bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have helped on the first one. I think that was too low. Yeah, so you just get the 2 extra blows from flurry of blows, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it is now Lefter. Your turn.
All right, let's see if I can fuck this up again. He's pretty hurt, right?
He's looking sore.
He's looking a bit sore. All right.
A dentist would fix him.
Let's just go Eldritch Blast again. I'll go line of sight because he's running into melee of the other dudes. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. We'll use a different dice. No, that is a 14.
A 14. That's a hit. Roll damage.
5.
5. So you just let go an Eldritch Blast and just you hit him right on the arm again. And you just see him just reflexes oof, as he cops it. He's still on his feet.
This dude's a meaty guy. Ooh, all right. The only option I've got is to Eldritch Blast him again. Just probably going to aim for the same spot. Just keep hitting him where he can. Might be able to pick the arm off.
Yep.
Yeah. Dice fell. 19.
19. Hit. Roll damage.
4.
4. So yeah, again, see him standing, just follow up with another one. Not quite as strong this time, and you hit him in the chest. He's just sort of oof, but he just wipes the sweat, wipes the blood out of his mouth, regains his stance, and looking more determined again to deal with these intruders. Juan, it is your turn.
He's in. Yeah, he's up close, isn't he? So I'm gonna have disadvantage if I try my things.
Yep.
Crossbows.
Yep.
Does it cost me anything to switch out to my short sword?
You get 1 free action, so you'll be able to use that to change your weapons, I believe.
All right. I've got a short sword. So I switch out one of my crossbows because I've got my 2 little hand ones now.
Yep.
For a, why do I even have 2 crossbows? I can't attack fucking twice.
just
You want them because they look cool.
I'm a retard. Alright, I'm just gonna keep a crossbow and a fucking short sword out for now.
Performance
Alright.
purposes. Bard.
Alright, so that's my new way I'm gonna equip myself. So I use my short sword and I stick the pointy end.
Alright, roll attack.
Uh, 13.
13, so that's a hit, so roll damage.
Uh, 4 plus 2, 6.
6. Cool. So, you do exactly what you're saying. You thrust forward, and your sword hits him in the gut, and you pull the sword back out. And you just watch him, he sort of drops the club for a second, goes to grab the sword as it comes back out, and he just grabs the wound, and you just hear this as he starts bleeding. He sort of holds his wound, and he's starting to realize that there's probably not much that he can do. And a desperate last wind, he lifts up the club and has another 2 swings at you, Juan.
Can I cast my bonus action first? Just in a
yes.
wild attempt?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Alright. I cast Vicious Mockery and I say, hey, you look a bit stuck.
You have to say when the sword's in him.
And he just returns with a fuck you, and then he hits you real hard with the club.
That's what you say. Fuck you. This is bullshit.
He takes 7 damage. You can see he just put the entire effort into striking you, and he collapses on the floor after the blow, and he's bleeding out, and there's not much life left into him. Dodric, it's your turn.
Not much life left into him. Right. Because I'm prone, if I try to hit him, I get disadvantage, yeah?
He is also prone at the moment, so yeah.
So it's a prone off.
But yes, if you were to strike him while prone, you would have disadvantage. But you can use half your movement to stand up.
Oh, is that how it is? I thought it would be the action to stand up.
No, half your movement.
Oh. Okay, well, I stand up, and he's still very close to me, isn't he?
He's pretty much right next to you on the floor, bleeding everywhere.
Okay, good. So, now that I've stood up, I'm going to try and stab him, like, right in the skull with my short sword.
Alright. Roll attack with advantage.
Ooh. With advantage? I don't even need that. Ooh. 18 and 17 plus 6, so 24.
I think you hit him.
That's it. Yeah. So that is 7, and then plus my sneak attack, an extra 3, so that's 10 damage.
So you just stand on
Dead?
top of him, and you just get the sword, and you just drive it straight through his back where his heart would be, and you just see he was just sort of, he was tense and sort of laying on the ground, but you just watch as any life left in the body just falls limp, and he just falls over with a long sort of groan as it sort of sticks in through the back. You pull your sword out,
And then I say,
blood just dripping everywhere, and you say,
I don't feel so good. Someone got to heal.
I think you missed. Were you aiming for his head?
Now, at this point, the battle's finished. You guys are wounded, but as you look around, the room is massive. It is absolutely monstrous. Let me find my notes so I can describe what you see.
I'd hate to be the maid, gonna have to clean up all that blood.
Oh, there's blood everywhere.
Speaking of the maid, where's the old guy?
On my sword and clean it, and it's real shiny, and then I put it away. Yep,
So, you see the room. It's far bigger than what you expected from the outside. As you peer around you, you notice the room is magically enlarged. Oh, I suppose that's a real word. The ceiling is 60 feet high at least, and it is tall as it is wide and long. To your left, there's a huge stone staircase decorated with wooden finishings that leads up to an indoor atrium which overlooks the entrance. Large windows on the top floor fill the room with light, helped by a huge candlelit chandelier that hangs from the center of the ceiling above you, its candle fire dancing gently in a circle but away from the candles. Underneath the atrium, books are neatly stacked on bookshelves from floor to the first floor, without gap. I've lost where I was. No. Several sized Persian rugs are just sprawling out across the floor as well, and plush sofas and chairs decorate the space, and it's warmed by a large fireplace at the back of the room. Dusters, brooms, and cloths are magically enchanted and gently dance about, cleaning the room on their own. And as you say that, a magically enchanted mop just comes over and starts poking at the blood on the floor and starting to clean up the bodies.
All right. I'm going to enter the house and then see exactly what you just described because I was still outside.
Yep.
And I asked Dodrick, "Yeah, you right there, dude? You
I feel
feeling?
very good.
Yeah, I feel very good." What have I got? I do have a potion of healing if you need.
Yeah, I've actually got one of those too. Does the bard have any heals?
I do, but I've only got 2 more slots left. I really need to level up, so I get a fuck ton of slots. Like,
Actually, I will say at the end of that fight, you do level to level 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. One thing though, but what's happened to the old man that answered the door and yelled for help?
That was him. You killed him.
Oh, we have
So
killed him.
There should
Yeah.
have been one other guy, and then there was a guy that said, "Protect me."
He
Was that
said-
the other guy
yeah.
that we killed?
Yep. So
Yep.
protect me.
Okay.
But nothing happened.
Shit.
So something
All
went
right.
wrong.
Alright. I think
Something
I wanna
went
kill the
wrong.
Body. I want to check the corpses for stuff. Check their pockets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, yeah, that hadn't been suggested yet.
So you rifle through.
Yeah.
Them. They had a couple of crudely made clubs, like literally just slabs of wood, with a handle sort of shaved out of it, so you can comfortably grip it. There's a couple of cloth sort of wrapped around so that it protect the hands from splinters. There was a rather crudely made or crudely maintained large crossbow from one of the cultists that he's dropped. But in terms of having anything noticeable or meaningful on him, he did not have much. They both were wearing leather armor, which has been now stabbed by your weapons and punctured.
My bad.
So they are slightly damaged underneath their sort of lightly covered robes that they were wearing over the top. Aside from that, they really had nothing of noticeable value on top of them, including any coins.
Were they
Heads
wearing
are still
the?
intact if you want them one.
Okay. Do they have any of the signet rings?
Yes, they're wearing a signet ring each. Sorry,
Do they match the signet rings that I have?
they do.
Okay, alright, cool. I cut their heads off. No, I don't.
As for their identities, you don't know who they were.
All right.
Do we do the level up now, or do we do it at the end of the session?
You probably want to do it now. So if you want to take a couple of minutes, I might even go and get a drink while you fiddle around. And if you got any questions, I can help when I get back.
So
Do I level up?
option...
Where's the level up button?
Right next to the level.
I don't know which of my level 2 spells I want. There's so many ones.
Level 2. Oh yeah, manage levels. Ooh, you can change theme. Interesting. Oh yep, level 3. Level up. Oh god, I was supposed to pick a rogue archetype. I thought I'd have a week to decide this. But no.
You
I
haven't
think-
already planned out literally everything you're doing?
No. I've got to choose if I'm an arcane trickster, an assassin, or a thief.
I have been eyeing up what I'm doing for ages. I get a magic option or turn myself into a like ninja rogue with magic option.
What are you gonna do?
More magic because in like 2 levels, I'll get to pick any spells I want out of the entire spell list of the entire game, and yeah, if I can cast it, I can have it.
Hey, I only went up
Yeah,
1 health
let's go.
leveling up.
Did you do manual hit points or did you do?
I'm not sure.
Manual after.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how this sort of works in terms of the level up. Because I remember when we created the characters, we picked the manual setting, but it didn't really work too well in the old character sheet. So
I did. It was fair obvious. You pretty much click it, and then it highlights all the bits you have to update. Like I got extra proficiencies and stuff.
yep. Okay.
I just got expertise in perception.
Yeah, I
And
see that.
expertise in persuasion. +7 on persuasion. How fucking good is that?
That's so good. What is your passive? Oh, your passive perception's really good.
Yeah, you better be fucking telling me. Like, I should never have to roll. Like, you're just gonna go, Steven, there's fucking everything everywhere.
Depends. As you do more dangerous stuff, you need higher scores. That's the way games work.
So, I can't decide. Since I only get one spell now, what do you guys reckon? Heat metal? I get to turn pretty much any metal thing I can see into something hot. That includes armor or something, and they take 2d8 damage forever, unless they succeed on a constitution. Or phantasmal illusion, phantasmal force, which is essentially make someone think they see something and they have to act forever as if that's the case. So I can make them think that something's not there, like a hole, and they just walk out and fall.
I don't know. I already planned out all of my actions I'm going to do.
I just don't know which one to do. It's killing me.
The heat metal one has like really cool flavor to it. I like it.
Yeah.
But then again, I am a warlock.
Yeah. They pick up like a weapon, and I'm just like, nah, you don't.
Whoa. We should get like a hammer and some nails, right? And then for one of our turn, we just like nail their foot to the ground and then make it really hot.
That'd be brutal.
We're stuck crucifying.
I don't know what I want.
How do we do the health again?
Mine automatically happened this time, but I think we get +5 each round, is it?
No, you get, depending on your constitution and also on your class as well. So, let me have a look at your character, the body.
Going up by 5.
It has gone up, has it?
It went up by 5 on its own.
Yeah, so that should be fine.
Oh wait, no it didn't. Potential total possible HP 24. It went up by 11. It's just that because I'm damaged.
So you've got fixed HP, which is fine. So I think that's what everybody's sort of using, is the fixed HP.
Cool.
So the fixed HP is every level you'll get 5 health or whatever the average roll is from the hit dice. So do you guys pick your paths?
Hang on.
Yeah,
I gotta
No.
I picked my path, but now I gotta pick what skills I use under that path.
Oh yeah.
I think I might go Arcane Trickster.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. We get to cast spells. It's either that or Thief or Assassin. I don't think Thief.
Oh, I have so many spell slots now.
Okay. Trickster.
Don't worry about not picking everything perfectly just at the moment. I'm fine with you changing it at the end of the session. If you just want to pick something quickly just so we can keep going, that's fine.
Okay. Oh, I can pick prestidigitation. Oh, that's a cool one. Spare the dying. You touch a living creature that has 0 hit points, that creature becomes stable. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
So I think we can get by, like, don't burn a spell slot on that. We can just use medicine and just roll into it. Like,
That's a cantrip.
But do you still have to be?
So you have
say
to
touch?
you have to swap a cantrip. So
No. I'm getting 3 extra cantrips.
Oh, there you go. So
3. Damn it.
yeah, warlocks are cool.
My old god loves me.
Hey, Dad, did you see the new class feature I got? Cutting words.
Okay, now I've got to pick some spells. I actually have to learn them. I don't just have the spells. I've got to, and then those are the only ones I know.
Oh, so as a reaction, you can do that. That's cool.
Yep. So I know shit's about to be terrible. I'm terrible.
Yeah. Ah, nice.
I can now deflect missiles, so, shoot at me all you like.
Also, as a side DM note, I'm thinking of allowing feats, but only under specific circumstances, like quest rewards, or if you do something cool, or perhaps it fits in with the story.
Don't we get feats on level up with the points?
Not feats, no.
No, I thought we could, when later on we get, the way feats work was when we get our bonus 2 points.
No, you get you'll get your ability score increase, but feats, from what I can tell, are DM only. They're not really included in the 5e rules, from what I've read. They are sort of grandfathered in from previous generations, so you can use them, but D&D 5e is mostly balanced around with you not having them, from what I've read. Could be wrong, but
I'm fairly sure it says it on the bard list.
you'll get class features.
Yeah, it says at certain levels your class gives you the ability score improvement feature. Using the optional feats rule, you can forgo taking that feature to take the feat of your choice instead.
Okay, or maybe that's unique to bards. But I haven't read that in the book. But you're essentially saying I don't want a score increase. I take a feat instead.
No, that's on the feats page.
Oh, okay.
It's not particular to a bard, but that's optional. So essentially if you allow feats, we can do that instead.
I just thought it'd be a real cool sort of reward here and there, or a cool way to increase relevance to the story. Like, if you do something cool, you practice with a bow for ages or whatnot. Maybe you do something awesome with a bow after that, and then I'll just say, you can now do this, which you get a feat. You don't get to choose it. I just say you have this feat, so extra bonus with bows, for instance.
All right.
Okay, I only had to pick one thing,
Mhm.
which was hang on, let me go back to my character.
Have you guys? Sorry, you go.
I got my pact boon, so I got to choose either pact of the blade, pact of the chain, or pact of the tome. So I've chosen the tome.
Okay, I'll have to read into
So I can read it out now if you want.
No, I'll go over that perhaps with you one-on-one later on.
Okay.
Because we'll talk about how we can roleplay that really awesome.
Okay.
You guys all finished your characters?
Yep.
Cool.
So I'm kind of picking spells, but we can continue.
Yeah, okay. So you're now in a magically enlarged room with the door wide open, 2 dead bodies bleeding on the ground with a mop cleaning it up. And what do you do next?
I have a look around. Is there anything that looks like might be useful, like help us out? Like, we're obviously all a bit beaten up and I think.
Okay.
I assist him in looking around.
Okay, roll perception with advantage.
And I already get +5. Albert, it was a 20, so yeah.
You roll the natural 20?
Yep.
Cool. So you stand up and you start to have a look around, and you walk over to the bookshelves, and you do find behind one of the books, you just sort of, the book was just sort of sticking out, and you pull it out, and there is a couple of small vials of red liquid. You can add 2 potions of healing to your inventory. You also continue to look around, just carefully going through each of the books. And you notice one particular book just sort of seemed out of place. You go up and you go to touch it, and it just sort of falls out into your hand, and you open it up, and inside are two scrolls. So you can add 2 scrolls, and I'll decide what the spells are in a sec when I can think of something cool. But you essentially got 2 level 1 scrolls as well.
So am I right in saying that only Forest? No, Forest? Are you the only one without a potion?
Probably yes. But I have dynamite, so.
It's rested
Don't
anyway.
drink.
Why not?
I'm wounded! Bang!
I hand one of the potions off to Forest.
Yep.
Well, thank
Figure
you.
us all having one. That's that. How do I add items? Oh yeah, I see.
So the 2 scrolls that you find, you have a peruse over them, and you see that one is Fog Cloud, and the other one is Disguised Self.
Do I find them in the list somewhere?
I'll create custom items for you and add them into your inventory soon, but at the moment, yeah, Fog Cloud and Disguised Self.
Nice. Alright. Oh, Disguise Self might be useful for our little roguey friend. We'll see how we go. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so is there anywhere obvious I guess we should go? Like,
sorry,
like, what
also-
do we see in doors and stuff?
Sorry, also, because you rolled a 20, as you start off on the left-hand side of the room and start moving towards the right, as you start getting towards the right, you do see underneath one of the bookshelves, the bookshelf sort of goes the entirety of the back wall, excluding the fireplace in the center, and then around the corner on the right, just a little bit. You do notice as it goes around the corner that there is scrape marks underneath that particular bookshelf.
All right, they've been renovating recently.
I think that might be a door. Do we want to scout around first, or just get the fuck in there and murder?
It's a fucking door.
Let's get in
Well,
there.
let's heal some people, you know?
I
mean,
like heal kits or anything?
Yeah, I should say also, the scrape marks are partially covered by a Persian rug that's been pushed up into that corner.
That Persian rug might go good with me tent, guys. What do you reckon?
Well,
Sure.
I was going to say, given that they've already used one Persian rug to try and hide door scrape marks, it's worthwhile looking under each Persian rug to see if there's any trapdoors.
I think we should.
I want to do that.
Traps. Toss the house.
Okay.
We start turning everything. There's
Yeah.
a bed, I just push it off.
So you start going
Oh,
through, you
my.
start pushing stuff over, and the animated brooms and things start to try and attempt to collect them and rearrange it. But you start pulling up the rugs. Can I get an idea of where you are around the room, just so I know where everybody?
I'm at
Yes.
one of the rugs.
One of the rugs. Are you at the one at the door? There's a few other rugs in the center of the room in front of the fireplace, and a couple of them over on the left.
I assume I'm around the center of the room since I went getting all these potions and stuff.
So you're at
I don't know
where you were. You're at the front right, or near the bookshelves. You're the closest to where the scrape marks are underneath the rug, as you're the one who's seen it.
Alright, I lift this one up. I'll let the other guys do the other ones.
I'll do the far one, like the complete opposite side of the room to that
Okay.
one.
Can I go for the one close to the fireplace?
And Dodrick, are you just pushing chairs over and stuff? Like,
I was still just glancing at the corpse of these bodies, though.
just
Don't
admiring the
forget you
death.
can like walk up the walls and shit.
So, You all go to start pushing over and have a look at things. One, however, as you grab your Persian rug, it immediately animates and wraps itself around your body and just completely engulfs you and starts to strangle you. You find it hard to breathe. It's got you grappled.
What's grappling him?
The rug.
Jesus.
What's the size? What's the size of this rug? Like, are we talking? Is
terms
it
of
is it a
length.
small or medium or large?
It's a
What
decent
would you call
size.
it?
It would be 2 meters by 1.5 meters. Oh, sorry, 2.5 meters by 1.5 meters. So maybe 11 feet by 6 feet.
Small, medium.
Medium, not
Large?
not monstrous, but bigger than your Aladdin carpet from the movie.
All right, medium, eh?
Can I run at the rug and sort of tackle it and try and squeeze one out of it like a something?
Yep, you certainly can. I'll get you just because it is animated. I'll get you all to roll initiation just so I know what's going on.
16.
Roll
14.
changing to cartoons. 14.
22.
All right, Zabondi, you have. Oh, sorry, Dodrick, you have first action.
So I'm fighting a rug,
You are.
and it's strangling one.
It is strangling one. You're in a magically
Is there any
enchanted
light?
room, and the rug was covering the scrape marks.
Is there anything on fire? There was a fire, wasn't there?
It was a fireplace.
There was a fireplace.
There
How far
was a
away am I from the
fireplace.
fireplace?
The room is 60 feet by 60 feet. You would
Yep.
be 30 feet from one who's in the front right-hand corner, or around 30 feet.
Okay. So how close am I to the
With no
fireplace?
fire.
Actually, you're at the entrance with the dead bodies. Now you're 45
Yeah.
feet away, 50 feet away. You'd have to use
Okay,
your
how-
action to dash, or
Yeah, how close is the fireplace to one?
about 30 feet.
Right.
The fireplace is not lit.
It's not lit. I thought you said it was keeping the place warm. You don't want us to have fire.
No, the light. Oh no, I did say that. Yes, it is lit. Sorry. No, it is. My apologies. I did say that word.
I'm so gonna fucking die, aren't I?
Does it look like there's a piece of wood that I could like grab without burning my hand in the fire to pull out?
I don't know. You'd have to get closer. You are at the other side of a monstrous room. At the moment, it is just
Okay.
a bright glow.
I will take the dash action as my dash as my bonus action to run towards the fire
Okay.
and examine it.
So you
So
take
does
your
it
dash.
look like this one I can grab?
Yeah. So you get there. There are big logs in the fire. Yes. You dash. You get the whole way there. But they're big and heavy. You know, big thick ones. It's just sort of sitting there. They're not just sort of like little twigs or anything. You'd have to use both hands to try and pick it up. And the fire is incredibly hot at this proximity. And I will say that you use your action to do the search and have a look at it as well.
Oh. Okay, so that's pretty much me done then.
But you can communicate
Yeah.
that to everybody else.
There's big logs. I can't carry them.
Can I hear that while I'm in the rug?
You just be hearing sort of ruffling as this thing tries to strangle you. Like, think a boa constrictor is just wrapped around it and it's just getting tighter and tighter and the air is just being sucked out of you. You're finding it incredibly hard to breathe.
My go?
It is left in the
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Sorry.
So I'm at the other side of the room, so I'm about 60 feet away from
Correct.
the rug and what?
Yeah, correct.
All right. I'm going to move my 30 feet towards him, so I'm 30 feet away from him and the rug.
Yep. You're at this stage.
And-
You're very close to Dodrick in front of the fire.
Okay. And because we just leveled up and I've been waiting my entire 5 minutes to do this, and since it is a a medium-sized creature or rug, as we described at the start. I'm going to use my gust cantrip that I just learnt to try and throw it off one.
Okay.
So I create this this boon of wind that it must succeed on a strength saving throw,
Yeah.
or it'll be pushed 5 feet away from me and thus off one.
Okay. Let me see.
God, I love my old god that I'm reporting to. He's giving me all this cool shit to try out.
All right. So what's the strength saving throw? What do I need?
13.
What's a 13? It does not move.
God damn it! All right. Well, given that it is a cantrip, with my bonus action, I'm going to try the same thing again.
All right. Again, it does not move.
You didn't even roll that time. I didn't
I
hear
did.
it. Sorry, one. You should have luck. This is all you.
So
I
11.
can't see
It has
that.
+3 on strength, so it's a 14.
Ooh.
Um,
Ooh, I'll get it next time.
As you blow these monstrous gusts, and you just carry bits of fire embers past the fireplace, trying to blow this rug off of one, but it sits there. It barely budges, and you get the intense realization that this thing is incredibly strong.
I wouldn't say incredibly. It's only +3.
So the rug just continues to grapple you. One, it's just getting tighter and tighter. One, it's now your turn, and you
Do you
feel
want to
the.
get like a strength saving throw or something? You know, try
Uh,
and grapple.
no, you can try and pull it off, but it actually does its damage at the start of your turn. So you take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
That's pretty brutal.
I tried, man.
Hey guys, I passed out.
So one, you fall over unconscious, and the rug just continues to strangle you. Forrest, it's your turn.
Do I do my death saving throw because that was at the start of my turn now, or
No.
next turn?
Next turn.
Am I right next to one in the rug, or?
Yeah, you're pretty close. You're about 25 feet away. You're sort of in the center of the room, pulling up rugs, so you can use your movement to get to one.
I shall move 15 feet closer to it, so I'm 10 feet away. And I'm going to use my new ability.
Mhm.
I have to use a key point.
Yep.
Fangs of the Fire Snake. When you use an attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 ki point to increase your reach in the rest of this turn. A hit with this attack deals fire damage instead of bludgeoning, and if you spend 1 key point when this attack hits, it also deals an extra 1d10 fire damage.
Your glorious beard's blowing off there.
So I shall hit him, so think of my hands as giant fists of fire. They reach out an extra 10 feet.
Okay. Roll attack.
Uh, 10.
That hits. Roll damage.
Yeah. What type of attack am I doing? I'd say it'd have to be unarmed, wouldn't it?
Whatever the ability says. If you're using unarmed, I suppose it's unarmed.
It just says it increases my reach when I attack, so...
Okay, so you're attacking with whatever weapon in that case. So.
Alright. Flaming Quarterstaff. What do I roll? D6. So 7 fire damage.
Okay. So you
Don't you get the
strike the
bonus
rug. Hey.
Can you get a bonus D10 as well? Isn't that what you get?
If I use it, should I use it?
You've made the hit.
It's up to you.
I'll use my last key point to do extra.
So an extra D10. Okay.
I haven't used that dice before. 10.
10 damage.
Does that? Hang on, no. Just 5.
There's 5 damage. So what total?
Yep.
12.
What was the first one? 7,
Seven.
and then 5. Yeah, 12.
Cool. So you punch this rug super hard and you singe it a little bit. It doesn't really move, but you have significantly burnt it across the top. However, some of the damage is also transferred onto 1, and taking damage at 0 hit points means that you take a death saving throw.
Shit.
Yeah. Wait, shit.
So that means I have to roll now? Or does it mean I get a failure?
You suffer a failure, so you don't even roll. Dodrick, it is your turn.
Okay. Since I'm in front of the fireplace, what's my distance to the rug?
About 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. And my walking distance is 25. Excellent.
So you get within melee range.
Oh, yeah, true, because 5 is the limit. And who else is close to the rug? Forest?
Yes.
Yes, and Lefner's
in
fairly... Well,
melee?
Lefner's next to you, essentially.
Hi.
Okay. But Forest is within melee range.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
No,
10 feet.
He's 10 feet away from the rug.
10
I'm
feet.
within melee range, inside the rug. If you're hoping for your special ability with the sneakies.
Oh,
Does that
okay,
count?
yeah, cool. If you're within melee range, if you're within 5 feet of it, then yes, it does.
I am within it. I think that counts, Data, yeah?
Well, no, because you're grappled. You don't count. All right.
Now, I just want to remind you, just so you guys know how this is working. 3 death saving throws means your character dies. If you take damage while you are unconscious, you immediately fail. If that is critical damage, that is 2 immediate fails. So if you roll a 19 or a 20, are you 19 or 20 for crits, Doderick? Which I think
What do you
are.
mean?
So I'm not sure if you crit on a 19 and a 20, or if you just crit on a roll of a 20. Now,
As far as I know, it's just 20. I
okay.
haven't noticed a 19
There's some
anywhere, I think.
certain classes get the ability to crit on a 19 or a 20. I wasn't sure if your rogue was one of those.
Yep.
Now, you've watched Forest punch the rug, and some of that damage was transferred onto 1.
Right.
Yeah, one, be more fire resistant.
So more. I just wanted to say, as your DM, so you don't accidentally kill 1. More
Yeah.
punching the rug at the moment with it attached to him will cause him to fail his death saves.
Okay, so we need to do more stabbing. All right, stab the rug.
All right. So what's a smart way? What's a plan? What's an ability we can use to get the rug off him without doing damage?
So can we do things like checks while we're in combat, like an Arcana check or something? On
Yeah,
it?
you can do that. Yes. You also have other like non-combat actions which you can use as well.
Yeah.
Which
Just try and like reverse grapple it, like try and peel it off me as a strength check.
That's true.
yeah. So your actions in
Yeah, we
combat
could
are
pull it off.
attack, which would be a grapple. Yeah. So you get attack, cast spell, dash, disengage, dodge, grapple, help, hide, improvise, ready, search, shove, or use an object.
Yeah.
Try and peel it off me. We've got like 3 rounds with 2 guys before it's my turn again, I think.
Yeah, I'll run in and do something if Dodrix
Okay.
doesn't.
No, I don't think you'll help. If your strength is like mine, you better stay away.
It's a -1. Mate, I'll keep blowing wind on you. I'll give you another blowjob.
I know who's after me in the turn order.
It'll be me.
Oh, okay, well, you're not going to be very strong.
No, but
Well,
I'm gonna
I don't
voice.
have any. I don't have any bonus to strength. But what I'm thinking is, if it's a rug, it might have fear of fire because it's going to burn. Now I can't pull the log, but one of my new tricks is that I can make a minor illusion. So I could maybe spawn this illusion of fire next to it.
Fuzzy set it
and
on
maybe
fire with
it'll
his
scare it
punching,
off.
though.
So now it should be really scared of fire.
Because Fuzzy did fire damage with his fists, right?
Right.
Your minor illusion Fuzzy to make it look like he's just turned into a ball of angry fire coming at him. I think that sounds like a good idea. Like he's already, it's like, I'll burn you.
I don't think I can make an illusion that complicated. It's more like I can make a chair or something.
Can the chair be on fire?
Well, I think fire is basic enough to make that an illusion.
Do we want to maybe illusion another rug to be maybe a female rug or something?
Or you could try to persuade it.
Maybe it's mistaken one for a female rug.
Bondi, maybe you could like cut a chunk off the rug and try and peel it and like unthread it and just start running with the thread.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, if you're a rug, that's the most fearful thing that could happen, I reckon. Like, all your threads come undone.
Sure, it's got lots of singed loose threads now.
And at worst, it's going to make it weak for when Fuzzy has to inevitably peel the fucker off me.
Yeah, I've got the most strength, so I can try.
So, would I be able to, Daddy, knowing that it's not... I don't want to hack at it, like, in a way that might cause damage to one, but I might want to, like, nick it on the corner and, like, grab that corner and try and dash away with it, as
So
if to,
you
like,
just want to grab,
tear at it.
So you want to grab at a loose part of the rug and then try and rip it off him.
Yeah, and I suppose the idea might be to, like, tear the rug if it doesn't pull away. You know what I mean?
So he gets in there with a knife and like cuts a nick and then
So
just tries to turn that nick.
So at the moment, the rug is very tightly woven around one. There isn't a loose thread for you to grab easily. Could be done, depending on your rolls. So I will say that yes, you can try, but it is very woven, very, very tight around him.
Does the rug have any sort of tasseled corners?
No. It's
What kind of Persian rug is it then?
It's
What about...
just the square ones?
How about... I run at the rug and it's coiled around him, right?
Yep.
So if I take my short sword and I try and dig it in between one and the rug and slice down and this is like a bit of finesse. So if I use like a sleight of hand check to get it in there and cut at it.
So that it wouldn't be sleight of hand; it would be dexterity to try and get it in. I think without hurting.
Same diff.
But look, if you want to do that,
he's a sword expert.
He's a sword expert. I'm happy to let you guys do whatever you want to do.
All right.
But
all right,
just reminding you, damaging one means that he suffers death saving throws.
And he's already taken one, right?
He's taken one.
Yeah, I've only got two left, and I'm dead. Oh, is my head at all visible, or am I fully enclosed?
No, it's like completely wrapped around your head and the upper body. Like you're just sort of sucked in there like a little cocoon. Your arms are in there as well.
Guys, does anyone know if potions can be taken intravenously?
What about a suppository?
I'm gonna take it. Like,
What about him?
We got better chance with the suppository then, mate.
Maybe we should try negotiating with a rug. Does it speak?
You know what?
It's magical. I'm keen to do an Arcana check. It might show a vulnerability for us.
yeah, but that's after these two have taken turns, isn't it? Like,
Oh no, it's Dodrick and then me.
Okay. Forrest was standing next to it. Is he one size bigger than me?
Yes.
Okay. Therefore, I can hide behind him with a stealth check.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes, you can.
Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and hide behind him. And the idea being that the next time it comes around to me, if we haven't dealt with this, hopefully I'm hidden from the carpet and I'll get advantage on like an attack against it and less chance of hurting one. I'll be precise.
Okay.
And you
so
can
I'm gonna
use
roll.
your shoes to sort of walk up on my back and be sort of standing
Ooh,
horizontally.
Darty,
No, I'm
'cause
hiding
I've
behind
passed
you.
out, does this whole thing fall to the floor? Which
Hey.
means everyone gets advantage on it? Because I passed out like a bitch and it's wrapped around my top
Yes.
half.
Yeah, I would say
It's
yes.
down-
It is prone. Yes. So you
Stealth
should-
15.
Yeah. So you run around behind Forest, and you can't really tell because it's a construct. It has no eyes or gives it no sense whether it's noticed you at all. But you feel
I'm
that
totally hidden.
you feel that you're pretty hidden from behind it.
I'm pretty
you can't,
hidden.
can't see.
There you go. Got that.
So at the moment, the rug is just fixated on one and just strangling it. Like it's not doing anything else. It does like even when Forrest hit it, it didn't move. It didn't flinch. It's just focused on the strangling.
Damn.
All right. So left now, it's your go.
All right, I'm gonna do an Arcana check because I reckon I might be able to find something out about him.
Okay. Roll Arcana.
Fucking floor. I got what is it? +4. I got 20. So
20.
16 +4.
20. So you take a moment to compose yourself and just sort of clear your mind and try and think about what this thing does. And you do remember that you have read about enchanted rugs in books in your past. In particular, notes about rugs of smothering. You know that they're strong, and they only fixate. They're not sentient. They don't think for themselves. They don't know or feel fear. They just have a purpose, and that is to essentially smother those unwittingly who would walk onto them. You know that also you can incapacitate the rug in the area of an anti-magic field, and you also know that you can grapple the rug off them as well.
All right. Does any of my past history say anything about blowing them off with a gust?
No, unfortunately, you do not feel any more confident than you were a few seconds ago with the gust.
No successful history.
No successful history. Yeah, it could be a first. Given that I can't cast an anti-magic shield and we're in a magical house, I think that gives us two options. We can just try and grapple it off, which, I mean, it's probably our best option. Or we could drag the unconscious body out of the house, and that might be the anti-magic barrier because it'll be outside the magic zone.
Now, with your Arcana check, you do know that the anti-magic field has to be prepared.
Okay.
So
Well,
you would know that dragging the rug outside of the house would not change anything.
We're not doing. All right, I'm gonna use my movement points to move up and try and grapple it off him.
All right.
Can I just suggest, obviously its natural instinct is to constrict, strangle. We need a replacement for one, so could we potentially try and pull one of the other dead bodies and swap it to strangle so that we have a chance to rescue one?
I say,
could.
if it gets another turn, I'm about to take damage, and if I fail a roll, I take another, and then I'm dead.
Well,
So I say just do everything we can to.
well, I've got quite a lot of health.
But
I
you're
haven't been
right, we can't hear you.
damaged.
Perhaps
I-
instead of you doing the grapple, you should prepare to help Forrest do the grapple, and then he'll get advantage. And he's probably got more strength than you do.
Well, I know what Forrest is saying because if he's saying that as soon as we touch the rug, right, or try to grapple, it's going to start getting us, right? So even if I prepare to help, it might turn and start strangling him, and he's already damaged. I'm not
But-
damaged.
All right.
I've
So
got.
the way the grapple works, if you can try and get it off him, yeah, you can hold it free, and then you can free to damage it.
And then we can attack. Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna move up and attempt to grapple it.
Okay.
Because I think we need to do that.
All right. Roll a strength check, please. I'm pretty sure grapple is strength.
Yeah. So it's 18 minus 1, so 17.
Yeah. So you get up to it, and you fully just reef the rug straight off of one, and he's unconscious, but as soon as the rug comes over, you just hear like into the body, but you get a sense of relief that he's alive, and you just pull the rug. Are you just gonna hold it against you and keep it grappled?
I'm gonna attempt to go full rodeo clown and just sort of hold it off to the side, like
Okay.
just arms stretched out to the side, trying to like, dudes, quick, come and kick the shit out of it before it hits me.
All right. So you've got the rug. You're holding it to the side. You've got a good amount of control with it. The rug, however, does attempt to free itself from your grapple and attempts to latch onto you. Can I get you to roll another strength check, please, as you fight against it?
10.
So you pull it to the side and then instantly regret that was a bad idea, as you've sort of lost control of it, and it just wraps around you and just starts to strangle you as well. It hasn't quite got your head, it's around the waist. You've still got the end of it in your hands, but you can just feel the air just coming out of your lungs. One, can I get you to do a death saving throw?
So, Jack of all trades, you get to add half your proficiency bonus rounded down to any ability check. Is this an ability?
No, there is no modifiers on a death saving throw.
Just don't get a 1.
No, I got a fucking 6.
That's okay.
That's another fail.
We can stabilize you.
Yes, somebody can stabilize you. A
Someone
1.
pour some potion in my butt.
A 1 would have been death. So, Forrest, it is your turn.
All right. Is there any
Remember, you've got
nearby
Bardic Inspiration.
chairs?
Is there any what?
Is there any nearby chairs?
Yeah, there's a couple overturned.
Are they within reaching distance?
Yeah, there's a single-seated sort of sofa chair, so it's rather big, but it's within 10 feet of you.
Can I move it?
Yeah.
Would that count as my action?
You'd have to drag it because it is rather heavy. But I'd say on a successful strength check, you could pick it up and move it, no worries. However, a failed strength check would mean that you would move it half movement.
How far away is Joan from me?
Jonah
10
is
feet?
about 5 feet away from you.
No, I'm laughing. Yep. Let's try and pick up the couch and move it closer to Jonah, so that the rug has something to grip onto. That's not human or living.
I'll wind back just a little bit with Jonah's Arcana knowledge, and that is the rug reacts to movement. More humanoids or warm-blooded. It's not triggered by inanimate objects.
Okay.
So
I'm holding this corner out. Punch the corner.
So I'll say that as you Jonah sort of sees that you're looking at the couch, and he just shouts at you like, "No, it won't work. Think of something else." the air's coming out. He just sees it straight away.
You've changed your voice. There, laugh now. Okay.
I'm gonna yell out and say, dude, I'm still gripping one end. If you grip the other end, we might have a stronger grapple.
Alright. Yep. I'll do that. I'll go to the other side and I'll grab it and I'll try and pull it out so that we're both grappling one side of the carpet.
All right. Roll strength with advantage.
Yeah. What's my plus strength modifier? 2. 19?
19. So yeah, you just grab the other part of the rug and you just pull, and Lefter just does a little bit of a twirl as he unravels, but you've both got got the rug at either end, and you're starting to hold it rather strong. Dodrick, it's your turn.
Stab that
So one
motherfucker.
has like one save left, does he? If
Correct.
he loses the next.
You lose the next one.
All right.
The next, he's lost.
So I'll run up to one, take the potion of healing, and shove it down his throat.
Glass and cork and all.
Yeah. You know, it goes down. He chokes on a little bit, but life starts to come back into him. You regain whatever the hit point amount is, 1, and you are now.
So
conscious.
1, it's 2d4 plus 2.
Do I roll that? Or
Yeah.
As a DM, I'll say remove the modifier because he's coughing and spluttering, so that the whole thing goes down. So 2d4.
2d4.
I got a 2 and a 3 then, so
5 hit points.
Cool.
Does that mean he's no longer prone?
Very
He's
much so.
currently laying on the ground, but he is awake and sort of patting down all this red liquid, which he's currently mistaking for blood in his days of coming back to life.
I can dash.
He's just a bit
disengage
fearful
or
on the
hide.
ground at the moment. So now I'll just see, because you do get 1 free action to interact with an object. No, I'll say that required, you have to be rather precise for that. So that was your action. You've still got your bonus action if you so need.
I don't think it's useful. I can dash, disengage, or hide. So
Okay.
I don't think there's any use for that.
Lefner, your turn.
So I've got both hands currently still on the rug.
Yep.
That's holding it in.
Start walking it towards the fire.
It does no fear, but like that'd be a bit hard, right? Because I got to wait for Forrest's turn, right?
We sort of have to move at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'll allow that. I'll allow that if you both move that way. If you're okay, in this case, I'll say that you and Forrest are acting together this turn.
Okay.
Chago!
All right. Well, where? What? So it's 30 feet to the fire because that's in the center of the room, and that's how far away we had to go there. Are we still moving at our full walking speed?
Yeah, I'll say yeah, because you're both taking your turn at the same time. You both got it, and you're running towards it. So, yeah, you've got your full movement.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So let's run towards the fire, and like standing on either side of the fire, we do like some ceremonial dip, like as if we're baptized. This magical rug into the fire.
Okay, can I get you to roll a strength check, please? Both of you. Actually, no, sorry, James, just you with advantage. Sorry. That's probably the correct way to do it.
All right, I got a 13.
13, alright. So you both grab the rug and you just pull it over the fire, and you can just, the intense heat from the logs is just insane. And as your hands are burning, all the hairs on the end of your fingers are all singeing and then peeling back, and you just feel your skin begin to melt away at the heat, and you pull the rug over it. Can I get you to roll 3d8, please?
Oh, fuck.
3d8.
Just James, Fuzzy. That's okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's damage on the rug, not them.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I thought they were about
So-
to take that just for that.
No.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one was an 8. The next one is a 1 and a 2, so 11.
11. Alright, so you grab the rug and you both are just holding it there. Can I get each of you to also take 2 fire damage? While you both just hold it, and using your strength, you're just holding it above the fire and just hoping that it burns away. It doesn't feel pain, but it's pulling and wriggling still to try and grab free and then to grab onto one of you guys.
My eyebrows!
and the rug it attempts to break free and grapple. It
I
does.
use cutting words.
Hey,
So I use cutting words to stop its grapple if I can.
hey, just wait.
Can I? Or is it too late?
It grabs it, and it just with rather a big surprise, the rug just sort of snaps shut and rips itself out of your hands, but it grapples around the fire instead and just holds onto it. And it just sits there. You can just see at the top of it, it just starts burning holes through the rug, and eventually it just splits into two, and the rug falls lifeless around the fire.
Was the rug made out of asbestos and now kills itself?
That's hilarious. I suppose the fire was warmth, and moving, right? Dumb rug. I want one.
So you guys are all caught by surprise, almost a second time in just a matter of a few minutes. But you now have a space to recollect and to recompose yourselves.
So enough to long rest or just a short rest?
It's still fairly early in the morning. The first thing that you guys did after leaving or waking up from Bardeed's house, which was fairly early, you made your way over to Lipka Manor. It's probably only still about 9:30, 10 in the morning. So no, it is too early to do a long rest. You would have to short rest. However, you don't feel safe here, so you can try to, but you know that you're in a place that is known for cultist activity now. Like they were inside the building when you arrived, so you don't know what else to expect inside.
You're still at full health, yeah? Dodge trick. No. Left nut.
I took 2 from the fire, but they're the only wounds you see on me are just a few singed hairs and me rubbing my head.
Are you good if we all short rest? Because I'm fairly sure we're all down a fair bit.
I can go on. Yeah, I can full guard for the short rest to allow you guys to heal up.
You guys good with that?
Yep. I actually is there how many entrances are there to the room?
There is 2 doors on the right-hand side as you walked in, about evenly spaced across the 60-foot room. So there's one on the as you face the right, there's one on the right, and there's one on the left, and there's only the entrance that you walked in as well. Oh, there's also the balcony, the exit to the balcony, which the exit to the upstairs area as well. There's a door to the rest of the house up there.
And you described bookshelves earlier that went up to the ceiling.
Sorry.
Could we rest behind them?
So there is a staircase on the left up to like an indoor balcony, an atrium. So the bookshelves are on the ground floor and they go up to the that atrium. So all the books are on the bottom. There's a few bookshelves up the top that don't go all the way to the ceiling. There's mostly windows and such up the top, which brings in quite a fair bit of light. You could hide behind some couches, or makeshift couches behind the stairs, and attempt to rest in there. Otherwise, yeah, you could probably, I don't know, find a loose space or a corner just to sort of to hide in.
Yeah, I think if we do that way, anyone that comes at us has to come up the stairs at us, and that gives you plenty of warning, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to do that?
Catch fire!
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we need to at least scout upstairs because we haven't done that. Was that covered off by the 20 that we got with looking in the room?
You mostly just saw the downstairs area, and the 20 was mostly just finding a few nooks and crannies through the books.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll head up the stairs and investigate the atrium.
Okay. Can you go up and roll a perception, please?
11.
11. Cool. So you go upstairs. So the stairs lead off to the left. Up the top and around, and then there's a door to the right-hand side. So it's a big sort of walk around, and you make the walk and you have a look around. You get up to the door. There's glass windows in these doors, and it leads into what looks like to be a sunroom. There's on the other side of the sunroom, there is actually doors that are already open into a balcony on top of the roof. You don't see any movement up there.
Would that be the balcony that our young friend Dodrick ran up to?
You don't know. You'd have to talk to him.
Hey, Dodrick, get your fat little ass up here. I call the guys up to at least the atrium level, and saying that it looks safe. Doesn't appear to be any issues that we need to worry about.
Yeah, and so Dodrick, you go up.
Yep.
Yeah, so you go up, and you do recognise that as the space that you entered earlier.
So,
Can I
the
drag
place.
the couch up the stairs?
Hey,
Can I drag the couch up the stairs?
you could. Yeah.
so the only
Make him
entrance
roll.
to
If he
this.
fucks it up, take a point of damage.
So the only entrances to this room is from outside or this door that we're looking at, right?
There's the 2 doors on the ground floor as well to the rest of
No,
the
no.
house.
I'm talking about this little room.
Ah, the little room. Yeah. So you've got like a sunroom at the top there with a few reading materials, and then it opens up and goes straight into the balcony, which is on top of the roof of the rest of the house. Like that balcony area is essentially the rest of the roof. It's
Okay.
quite large.
The sunroom being that there's only glass on the roof, and there's glass in the door that we're looking at. Is there windows on the balcony door or anything like that?
Yeah. So it's just a lot of light. You can see. Yeah, you can see straight through. The doors and the glass does appear to be rather thick as well, and quite heavy.
I say we camp out in there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
And
think.
just if we protect the door.
If someone-
essentially, if you watch the door, but keep an ear out for the thing, it takes like someone with magical boots to get up to the door, the outside door.
But I just don't want us to be seen. So if we can like press the digitation to make all the glass dirty, so no light can get in, and that way we only have to watch the door.
Yeah. Well, no, I cast prestidigitation to those fuckers are like murky, but not murky enough that
Alright.
people ain't gonna be like, what the fuck are they black windows? Just enough to so if someone lands and passes, goes shitty windows. Fucking dickhead."
That doesn't summon those magic brooms and shit, does it?
The brooms are just,
Ah,
just moving around downstairs. They're still cleaning. There's still the mop. It's just sort of sticking itself into that body of the dead dude. It's just sort of poking it. It's just slowly shoving him along the walls. It just tries to get it.
That's right.
All right, are we good to camp in there? Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So don't forget, if you use any hit die to heal, you get 1 bonus d6 from
Alright,
me.
so you guys are going straight into there and resting right now, and you're fogging up all the glass so you can't see.
I'm kind of worried about now. There's so much shit. Like we've got a rug burning away. There's 2 dead bodies. We didn't take their heads off. We didn't even close the front door. Like
You got to remember when they
there's so much
Front
shit we
door.
got to do.
The front door is still open.
guys,
Okay.
if they come in,
I'm going to
and
go
about-
downstairs,
that
and
mop
I want
is going to absolutely mutilate the body, and they'll think it's the mop that's done the killing. They'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Despite
And you'll
the
see them
stab
just-
wounds in its stomach.
That crossbow bolt sticking out of one of them. Yeah.
You didn't collect your bolts.
in the front door.
Well, we're all upstairs at the moment.
So
So,
you're
the
upstairs.
idea
What
is
you
that
watched during your
Where-
short.
Where you're resting, you're sitting in a little side room off to the right. It does not have direct line of sight to the front door, no. So you would not see anybody entering.
But there is the balcony. So if you can see out
Yeah.
the balcony, you can see from the front, right?
Yeah, from the balcony, yes, you could see the front door. If you walked out.
Okay.
Long enough.
All right. And the front door is the only main entrance to the building and the balcony
That you know of.
All right. So while these guys are preparing, they're fogging up the rooms, getting ready for their rest. I'm going to go down and close the front door. I'm going to move the bodies behind the couches out of sight from anyone who may try to enter.
Mop a clean
I'm going to give the mop a friendly pat, say it's doing a good job. And then I'm going to go back up out into the balcony to oversee the short rest.
All right.
Well,
so
from a part inside that I can watch out the window, so I've got line of sight of the front door, and yeah.
Alright, you successfully do all of those things. I'll say that you grab the dead bodies, you go to move them behind the couches, but you end up moving them behind and underneath the staircase. And you grab one of the couches and just push it up against the staircase just to block any. It's like if somebody was to walk just a little bit further, they'd have to go right up behind the staircase to see. You go up, you give the mop a bit of a pat, say good job, and it just goes, it just starts squiggling around. It hasn't got the body to fight with now, so you just watch the blood just mostly clean up pretty quickly. There's a very light stain, but unless you're looking for it now, it's very hard to see. There's some sort of weird magic at play as it mops away. The blood just seems to evaporate into nothingness. You then go upstairs, you tell the guys, right, we're clear. You close the doors. One starts to fog them up, and you walk out onto the balcony and close the doors behind yourself as well, and just keep a stealthy eye. Can I get you to roll a stealth check, please? Just while you're up there.
Gross. 5.
5. So you think you're hidden, and you're just sort of peering out, and just a head just sticking over the balcony, and just popping up, almost like a meerkat, just popping up, have a look, and you sink back down. And every few minutes, you just sort of pop up again, and then pop back down. You guys complete a short rest. Nobody sort of comes or goes from the house within the hour that you are resting. So you successfully regain your hit points and spend your hit die.
But I don't roll a hit die because I was actively doing stuff,
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. So now, as the guys are waking up, I remind them, hey, so after that, for the whole hour, I was thinking that we didn't have any coverage of what we think is the bookcase door, so I think we need to be extra careful when going downstairs in case anyone came up.
Right, cool. I healed 15. I used up 2 of my hit dice.
Okay.
And the bonus 6.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, no.
So do we level up again for that?
To 4. Yay, 4.
You know, we did fight, and then we did clean up the house.
Well, we're going. Oh, daddies.
Okay.
Do any of the heads look as good as the gnome head that I have?
No, they're pretty
You
ugly.
had to, they're ugly. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to be able to put them places. Knowing that I'm, it turns out, an insane bard, would there be any of those heads worth keeping like Lugson's?
I'm not even sure if Lugson's head's worth keeping. You guys just sort of took it.
No, I get the bounty off that. I get to take that back to the police station for the bounty. And
you don't know who these people are, so
yeah,
you don't know.
The next person I come across is getting a Lugson to the head.
Make a history check.
Who?
A 1. Just to see if he recognizes these people.
I got a 6.
You have no idea who these people are, or if they're wanted.
No, but we know Lugson was because we had the poster or whatever.
You did, yeah. But and you knew that Lugson was because you had a note that was addressed to Lugson, essentially identifying him. Looking over these two, you have no idea.
Therefore, I'm keeping that. I take a pinky off each.
You remove
Hey,
a finger.
Lefner, what's your Arcana? check?
+4.
+4. So after our rest, sort of go to you and I'm like, do you think you could check around with your magical abilities to see if there might be anything that's listening to us or watching us?
Up on the second floor or on the ground floor? Because
just around us immediately now.
all right. So for the entire atrium second floor level, I do an Arcana check.
All right.
Do you want to help me out with this, Dodger? You want to learn the ways?
Yeah, I'll assist.
You assist. Hey, you're an arcane trickster. You know a little bit about magic now, so it makes sense.
do.
All right. Lefner, make a Arcana check with advantage.
Oh, I got a 20.
That's funny.
Natural 20.
You sense
Natural.
Arcana.
I got it. 20 and a 6.
You sense arcana everywhere. You feel that this entire house is almost magically fabricated on the inside. It's very difficult to individually identify certain things. However, during your senses, you do not feel that there is any arcana or any magic that's sort of out of its place. In the sense of wards or magical traps or something like that. You feel that what you see is what you're getting. However, it's all magic or quite an impressive magical enchantment / illusion. You're unsure which one's which.
Do I notice
So-
any markings that are similar to the ones that we saw in the house of the governor's
No,
dude?
you don't feel that you notice any small teleportation circles or anything like that. Old markings.
So
or
it would
oddly.
seem that it's unlikely we're being watched or listened to.
Currently, that's correct.
Okay. So in that case, then, I sort of call everyone together and I'm like, so Buddy, last night we had a private discussion. He asked me to come and see him and he wanted me to do a job. And he said that it was for someone who has special skills and it wasn't exactly legal. It's because he was impressed with the boots. Now, he wanted me to meet him at midnight. And I felt like I wanted to tell you guys because I don't trust this guy. And I feel like I should go and meet him, but you guys should be close by. And we should further investigate him.
Okay, so it's now what, 10:30 in the morning?
10:30
Yeah.
in the morning. Yep.
Do we want to investigate the bookcase more? It's looked like it moved or
Oh,
something.
yeah, we've got like 12 hours. Or was it 12 at lunch that he's going to come?
No, 12 at night.
Midnight.
Midnight.
Oh, yeah, we've got forever then. I say we keep going.
Absolutely.
Get a good rest.
Just letting you guys know.
Okay. Alright, cool.
Cheers, bro. I cast prestidigitation and clean up one of those brown stains in your pants.
Thank you.
The other one's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's still visible, is very, aware of the smell.
You know, I could have taken the
Still got some work to do.
prestidigitation.
Stop fucking up.
I'm trying.
All right. Do you reckon we go for the bookcase? Just have a good old examining of what's going on. We can obviously, or do you reckon we scout out the other rooms first?
I reckon scout the other rooms.
Yeah. I got a feeling the bookcase is a point of no return, so...
Yeah. Let's go for loot, bitches.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way downstairs, and you proceed to go through the house. You don't encounter any other persons. Going through both the doors lead to the same space, which is quite a large kitchen and meal preparation area. There's also a dining area off to the side, which is quite large and prestigious. Like the wooden tables are all decorated and embossed and engraved around the edges in quite a elegant pattern. The chairs are embroidered and they've got cushions in them on both the seat and the back. It's all sort of white and brown stained metal and fabrics. The kitchen area is essentially rather basic. There's a few knives and some prepared food, mostly preserved meats and such. And at the back behind the kitchen area, there's a cellar with some wines in drums and some beers and other preserved foods. Next to the kitchen is the final part of the house, which is the bedroom. And as you enter that, you actually see it starts. You open the door, and the smell is awful. You're immediately hit with the smell of rotting and decaying flesh. And you open it to the sound of large corpse flies buzzing around a heavily decomposing corpse laying next to the bed. Can I get you to roll an investigation check as a group, please?
So we all do it?
Yep.
8.
I got a 21.
9.
12.
You're the decider. As a group, you guys come together and you decide that this is likely the owner of the house, and his house has been taken from him. Looking at his clothes, you can you get the idea that this person was a mage. Just the long robes around the room, you can see staves and crystals and gold jewelry and such. So not gold jewelry, more like candle holders and other. Trying to think of something else. Sort of decorative metals that isn't worn on the fingers, but more to decorate the room. A lot of it is fixed into the wood, with the candle holders and such coming out of the wood and holding the candles rather high. Off to the right of the bedroom, you can see a basic door, and opening that, you can see that this was the bathroom and toilet sort of area, which is all pristine and white. The bed itself is a thick wooden timber, is rather high off the ground, with quite expensive fabrics on. Excuse me, as the bedding itself, with quite a plush mattress. So that's the house.
I checked the corpse's pockets.
You check the corpse's pockets, but you don't find anything. You feel that this person has already been rifled and his stuff has been taken.
Is there anything in the room that looks particularly valuable?
Make a perception check.
Perception 9.
9. You have a look around. You see a golden candlestick, which is sort of standing by itself on one of the desks to your left. You're unsure, but you think it might be at least lined with gold, and feel that could be valuable.
Did he leave his wallet on the bedside table?
There is no wallet or money. The desks and such do look like they've been opened and rifled.
Does his mage robe look intact enough to be a useful wizard robe for a warlock?
Unable to really tell with the decomposing, because all the flesh and stuff is decomposed into the robe.
Did you clean that shit up?
Robe?
Hey?
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah. Would you allow me to take the robe off and press the digitation for half an hour?
You could try that.
I'd try that.
I'm not going to sit here for half an hour while you try to clean a room, man.
I go back on watch.
Put the head in it, carry it around.
Do we recognize the dude from his face, or
You don't know the length that he's been decomposing, but you're guessing he's been there for a matter of weeks. Like, most of it is just sunken into the skulls. The eyeballs are next to non-existent in it anymore.
No necklace or rings or anything on him?
Not that you've seen. You get, as I said, you get the feeling that whoever has murdered him has taken all and everything of value.
did they
Look
leave
under the bed as
murder
well.
weapon?
Hey, look under the bed.
Yeah.
Sorry, what
Is
did
there
you
anything
say,
under the bed?
Forrest?
I said, did they leave the murder weapon?
I'll get you to both roll perception.
12.
20.
20. So, Forrest, Dodrick, you have a look under the bed, but you don't really see anything. Forrest, you also have a look under the bed, but as you do, you notice a bit of a glint through one of the windows, and you notice that the window has actually been left slightly open. So, like, it's one of those half windows that's been pushed to the side, and it was actually rather so clean that you didn't actually see that half it was open. And as you go up to the window and have a look out, you do see that the sun is actually glinting on what appears to be a bloody dagger handle that's been thrown out the window. And it's a curved sort of dagger as well.
Ah.
Is there any artwork on the wall in the room?
No.
Come
As I
back.
said, everything,
Is there-
everything that has been looted and pillaged.
Is there any rugs on the ground?
Yes,
Can I-
yes,
Stay
there
away
is
from
one
the
large
rug.
rug underneath the bed. It did not
Dodger.
attack you when you
Believe
stood
it.
on it, though.
Dodrick, pick up the rug.
Can I
It-
reach the knife handle?
No, you would have to exit the building and go and get it.
Can I point out and say, does that look like Lugson's daggers?
I'll get you to make
Roderick,
an investigation check, please.
third day.
13. You don't recognize them as being Luxons.
So
Well, since-
now he's pointed that out, is Dodrick able to like just crawl on up there with his magical boots of walking up a wall and grab it, or
They're outside, aren't they?
Grab the
They're
dagger.
outside. He's small enough that he can be able to go through the window there.
You want me to go grab the dagger? I'll go grab the
Why
dagger.
not?
Alright,
And while I'm doing it, I'll have a look around to see if there's anything else about.
I'll get you
Just
to roll.
trying to determine who it
Roll
was the
perception.
Lugson that killed this one.
Ooh, 21.
21. You have a look around and you do see a second dagger, exactly the same, just a little bit further down. You pick both of them up, and you add 2 more daggers to
Ooh.
your inventory.
Great, now I'm carrying a murder weapon. Great.
That's all right. You can throw them.
Was it the murder weapon or just how the assassin climbed up the wall into the house?
Alright.
cool.
While he's doing,
I'll let you go first.
I just want to do an Arcana check in here because I mean he's clearly a wizard. If we didn't check this room out, we're percepted everything, but we just want to make sure if there's anything else.
Alright, you do
Can
Arcana.
I assist him with my mage?
I'll assist.
Okay.
knowledge?
I don't need assistance of this. I got a 18 plus 4, so 22.
This room is one of the only rooms that you walked into, and you actually felt that it was in its natural state. As a result, when you try and sense magic, you get an odd feeling that because everything else has been magic, but this room was incredibly void of it, and very empty. You don't really sense anything.
Okay, well, it makes sense because the guy's decomposing. There's been no magical brooms. The bathroom was pristine, which means it's been cleaned by something. So
Can we check the desk? Is there any paperwork, anything of importance?
I think
Yep.
he said everything's rifled.
Yeah, you can have
I'm
another
just getting
look.
quite angry.
But hey, look, roll perception, see if you find it. We'll find something.
What's my bonus to perception? 16.
16. You do find some notes which sort of relate to perhaps who it is, and you find a name called Iva Lutka.
I have a what?
Lutka. So you're in the Lutka manor. So you find some notes addressed to an Iva Lutka, who you assume this may be who that is.
Is there a checkbook?
No.
What do the notes say?
Hey.
Do the notes say anything of importance, or is
No,
it just crap?
nothing important. Just sort of
Okay.
handwritten notes or maybe ledgers or transactions. But you don't recognize any other names or why the transactions would be anything significant.
how do you spell the name?
IVOR.
IVOR,
Yeah.
and then what? LUT.
Lutka. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm a little bored, so I start heading out. Were there any other rooms for us to check?
There's the bathroom. Don't know if there's anything in there.
So we're in like a hallway now, are we?
So
Like,
you're still in
outside of this room?
you're still in the bedroom. So the bedroom's directly onto the kitchen/dining area, and then that's directly onto the main big room that you sort of come into. There's like a little dividing wall that sort of comes mostly across the room, and that's where the pantry is, and it's sort of draped with a curtain or something just to sort of separate it from the rest of the house. But you get that this house is essentially just three or two massive rooms, and one moderate being the bedroom in a sort of an L shape.
Alright. I go and have a look in the pantry for see if there's any, food.
Yeah, so you find a lot of preserved meats, and what's the word? Cured meats. You find a lot of cured meats, and then just barrels or casks of wine, and a couple of barrels of beer. The barrels being completely monstrous and be too hard to move by yourself. You would need some sort of leverage to move it around.
Can I grab a bottle of wine?
It's a cask. Cask is rather large.
I don't want a cask. Can't carry that around with me. I can, but...
On one of the casks, you can see it's been corked. It's got a sort of a tap that's been shoved into the barrel on the top and's been tipped on the side. So it's got a little tap. So you could actually turn the tap and have a glass of wine.
I don't want one for me. I want one in case I need to offer it to someone we next piss off.
When, not if. Alright, so I just take a chunk of, a couple of, I don't know, are they salami stick kind of things?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, salami.
Like a ham?
And cured
Spotted
hams.
dick.
Spam.
I
So
grab
if
me,
you want-
a good chunk of meat,
So-
something that
Let's say that you take about 3 or 4 days food rations. It would feed the group worth of meats.
Alright.
Is there any further rooms? Maybe an armory as such?
No, that's the house.
So we've been through the whole house. Well,
let's get onto that bookcase and open her up. I say.
Okay.
should we do like an should we do an Arcana check in the kitchen dining before we go there, just in case there's something a bit more like a portal or something?
I walk around the rugs.
Well, I'll do an Arcana check
Yeah. Alright.
on the way out.
Yeah.
And I didn't do very well. I got a 9.
A 9. No, you don't feel anything special about this particular room. Or find anything of note. Or feel anything of note.
Cool. Well, I follow the others to the bookcase.
Okay, so you'll make it to the
Same.
bookcase. And, okay, I'll get you to... You start to look at it. You see that there is scraping of the bookcase. And the scraping is sort of a... it does sort of make a quarter of a circle into the ground. Can I get you all as a group to make an investigation check?
20.
11.
15.
Okay, so you're having a look around, try and books off the bookshelf just to see if you can find a magic lever. However, Forrest does walk up to one of the, like a candlestick coming out of the wall, and just sort of grabs it and twists it, just clockwise a little bit. And as he does, you just hear this click and then a massive thunk and then the grinding of stone as the bookshelf just sort of swings out on its own. And
As it starts grinding, I cast Prestidigitation to loop it up a bit, just to silence it a bit,
Okay, so you just hold the sound back and just muffle the sound. And immediately a lot of the sound just disappears and you just hear a bit more of just a bit of a squeak as it opens up. And it just sort of stops just to do click. And then, but you're looking in, there is no light out of the space that you're looking into, and it does appear to be not connected to the house in the terms of its foundations. You're looking at a sort of a stone passage down, which sort of slopes off down to the left and out of sight and into darkness. And that's where we'll leave it.
Nice.
Ooh.
Good
That was fun.
job fighting that rug.
The rug of
Yeah,
smothered
we
apples.
saved apples.
I never fucking died to that.
In Soviet Russia, carpet mutton chun you.
Just out of curiosity, Daddy, you said no, it didn't fear anything, obviously, because it's a magical construct.
Yes.
But being a rug made of fibers, did it take extra damage from the fire?
I made it so, yes. I really liked the plan that you guys had, so just sort of went with it and gave you a bit of extra oomph to get rid of it. So,
Burn everything!
it was
And
good.
then a critic miss.
Okay. And the other one I was going to ask, so the anti-magic field that you're referencing to that
Yeah.
requires some time
So
to set
there's
up, is there a spell associated with that? Or?
Yeah, I think there is 2 spells for that. So I'm not sure what level they are. But yeah, there is spells. There's also a second one, which is Dispel Magic. So if you cast Dispel Magic at it, something happens as well. So,
Yep.
but in terms of its sentience, it's basically, this one was enchanted to protect the doorway from anybody who should not be there. Hence, one got immediately wrapped and suffocated. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And pretty good to sort of watch.
Getting dangerous.
to realize that, hey, I could die. So that was really cool to watch as the DM. Although I did feel that if you had gone with your original plan, there wouldn't be a 1 anymore. So I should try and step in. Hey, look, this is your.
I had a tab open. I'm like, oh, what do I want to roll here?
Something with armor.
Yeah, I was thinking like a druid or a dingo paladin.
When you rolled
Would have the gust work?
Yeah. It needed to have a DC of 13 to break free. So if you had have beaten it, but with the gust, it's actually a bit different, isn't it? It's he has to pass the save, which is also a DC of 13. But he rolled like the 11 with the +3, but also an 18 on the first one. So
Yeah. But you let it work?
Oh yeah.
Or would have you said
if you had blown it off
one goes with him?
Makes sense.
Probably.
Blow it off.
Yeah, we would have blown it off. That early on. If you had have done it on the next turn, one probably would have gone with him. But because it only just started to attach himself to it, yeah, you could have blown it away.
All right.
But yeah, I don't want to spoil your fun. If you guys come up with cool ways to do things, I want to let you enable that and do that. So that's cool. Even if you actually went and grabbed one of the dead bodies and dragged that across, I was going to let that work. I was like, hey, that's cool. You could do that. I'll let that happen.
Just throw it at the rug.
The old
We throw it, one takes bludgeoning damage. God damn it, we've got
I think in my other D&D game, in our first session, it was like such a shit show, and like everyone went and did different things.
Yeah.
And I ended up in this like room trapped with this giant rat man that had been like converted from a normal man. And I sort of had the feeling that that was supposed to be the final boss, and I was in there alone against the thing, and I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be fighting this on my own. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to hit it. And I did lay on hands on the rat man, which is my healing ability, and I just channeled all of it into that. And so the DM allowed it to like calm it down, and it transformed back to a normal man.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That was like a nice way of avoiding the fight.
Yeah.
And then I rejoined my friends.
Yes.
So, Apples, how long are you away for?
Oh, like 4 or 5 days.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be back.
Next Monday. Alright, so next Monday I'll have some new stuff. I'll try and get some maps made, because we've got some really interesting stuff coming up. So yeah, have some maps. Hopefully that'll make the fights just a little bit better.
I won't make next Monday.
Do you want to do next Thursday instead?
Yeah, I should be able to.
Want to do Thursday next week?
I should be good pending any overtime work,
Yeah, okay.
but I should know in advance.
Alright, well let's aim for Thursday. If not, we'll do the following Monday. Cool. Alright, I gotta go.
Cool.
I'll
Go.
chat to you
Alright,
later.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.